It's great to see big hit music finally recognize and celebrate the milestones set by BTS and ARMY with the live album Permission to Dance on Stage Live. So, as you know, it's been years since all 7 members of BTS stood together on stage, but this July, 2025, that stage roared back to life in audio form. So Permission to Dance on Stage Live was BTS' long-awaited live album, and it gave us, at least it gave me, a full sensory revival of the era. You know, it makes you feel like you're in the crowd again. It's screaming your lungs out in 2022. So this video you're watching is me giving a chaotic review of the album because I've been quite enjoying it, and I will highlight some of my favorite moments from the album. But before that, let's talk about some of the milestones. So upon release, the album debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200, which makes it BTS' 8th top 10 album, which is a new record for any Korean act. It also topped the world album chart and landed at number 2 on both top album sales and top current albums. Even more impressively, it shattered Spotify history with over 14.5 million first day streams, and it now holds the title for the biggest debut ever for a live album on the platform. Okay, but more than the records themselves, what stood out to me was the fact that it all happened with almost no official promotion from the members. It was basically the ARMYs who did it. Now, let's talk about the album. Most live albums, feel like glorified merch or concert souvenirs, something you play once or twice and then you just shelve it. But not this one though. I've personally had it on rotation every time I go out for a run nowadays. And, in it, you hear every shout and every giggle and every breath, every, shout out. And the ad-libs were incredible. Ad-libs weren't extra in this album. They are the performance. And BTS didn't try to clean things up. They left the mess in, the chaos, the joy, and the slip-ups, including, Suga's slipping on the slippery stage on a rainy day during 잠시 Telepathy, that track, which was great, one of my favorites. And also, the weird little comments they made to each other were also included, which was fantastic. It's all there, and that's exactly why I personally loved it. Now, before diving into the album, it's worth remembering where all of this began. So, Permission to Dance on Stage happened after a pandemic, COVID-19, that kept stages silent for months. And originally, it was intended as a 39-show Map of the Soul World Tour, but the group had to cancel those plans in 2021. And what followed was an adaptive and emotional workaround, like a series of hybrid concerts. So the tour officially ran from October 24th, 2021 to April 16, 2022, spanning 12 shows across Seoul, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. And altogether, the series gathered nearly 4 million fans, both in person and online. Now, in Seoul, fans waved clappers instead of, screaming, because it was a COVID-era compromise enforced by local authorities. In contrast, Las Vegas became a purple-drenched celebration, complete with BTS-themed, hotel packages, water shows, pop-up cafes, and even citywide installations. And in LA, 4 nights at SoFi Stadium earned the group the highest grossing box office for a single venue run in U.S. history. $33 million from 214,000 tickets or something, I remember. And now, in 2025, the sound of that era is finally preserved in album form. And it became a memory that you can stream, basically. Like a stadium you can carry in your ears. So, let's do some review. I found this track list, and I also found this list where ARMY's organize the credits, like the lyrics, composition, and arrangement for each track, and also this, where each track was recorded from. Like for example, on the very first track was from Seoul Day 1, and the last track, Permission to Dance, was from Las Vegas Day 4. So what are some of the highlights? Man, where do I even begin? I'm really curious about your highlights and your favorite moments from the album. So let's start with On. I'm not going to go through each track because then this video will become like 2 hours or something. So On was from Seoul Day 1, and the extended intro, the build-up, I just loved it. And it hits like a war cry, and the crowd also builds the crowd reaction. And Jimin growls, and you can feel the tension release like thunder. And it was a very proper opener that I really appreciated. Fire from Las Vegas Day 3, it starts kind of deceptively slow, then it explodes, and the final chorus lands like a punch, and it was pure adrenaline. Dope from Las Vegas Day 2. I love Jungkook's JK's playful shift on that part, and RM's verse rides the beat perfectly, and the stacked ad-libs with HYBE and JK at the end was straight fire. And yeah, I simply love the stacked ad-libs throughout this album, throughout this experience. DNA from Las Vegas Day 4. This version has a punchier and like EDM driven pre-chorus that makes the build-up exhilarating, and the instrumental during the chorus also just explodes, cleaner and tighter, and somehow even more danceable than the original. Now, basically I loved each and every track and every act in this album, but let's move on to Life Goes On. So Life Goes On from Seoul Day 3. And I'm simply gonna point out some of my favorites. For example, in Life Goes On, at the end, BTS turns to the crowd during a photo moment, right? And J-Hope blurts out kimchi, like they're taking a family snapshot. So I simply love that. So I went through On, Fire, Dope, DNA, Life Goes On. Yeah, so that was Life Goes On. And Boy With Love, that was from Seoul Day 3. 자, 계속해서 가봅시다. 자, 본격적으로 한번 놀아보시죠. 한번, the member said. Alright, let's keep it going. Let's really have some fun now, shall we? And then one of the members said, 지민아, 뭐가 그렇게 궁금해? 지민아, what are you so curious about? Referring to the opening line by Jimin. 모든 게 궁금해, how was your day? I want to know everything, how was your day? So, I love that intro. 지민아, 뭐가 그렇게 궁금해? Asking Jimin, what are you so curious about? And then that just naturally transitions into Jimin singing. I want to know everything. I'm so curious, how was your day? And honestly, this might be one of the most underrated moments in this album. Like Jimin's soft entry makes the arrangement feel like clean and disco-like, and Jungkook's playful "oh yeah" has real charm, and his outro vocals also were fantastic. Moving on to Dynamite from Las Vegas Day 3. I just loved, when J-Hope said, everyone knows this song, right? In the beginning. I mean, of course, like Dynamite was #1 on Billboard, but you're talking to armies who showed up at your concert. Of course, they know every and each track on this album, but I just loved it. That made me smile. And this is where the horns really shine, with saxophones, trumpets, and backing vocals like pushing through. It has become funkier and looser, at times kind of bordering on gospel. And the final chorus hits harder with the full instrumental burst, and the live transition into Butter is just perfect. And I love the transition, and Butter, the energy is just through the roof from Seoul Day 3. And there's a point where RM and Suga shouts like, do the boogie like and let's go at the exact same time, which is kind of funny. Now, wait. Oh, okay. Telepathy. That was my favorite. and in Korean it's titled 잠시, right? So Telepathy from Seoul Day 2. This one is my favorite, and I think it really makes a dramatic shift in the album in terms of tone, because it was a pure chaos in the best way. And this is where it started to rain in Seoul for a Day 2 concert. And you can even hear the exact moment where Yoongi slips and the rest of the members just lose it. You can actually find a video clip on YouTube. And the laughter and the chatter and the clapping, it just sounds like a party, and you feel like you're right in the middle of it. So in the beginning, the members say something like, 자 이제 여러분들을 어이구야 비 많이 오는데. So it rains right there. So members were like, all right, now we're coming to see you guys. And then, whoa, it's really raining hard out here. And members go like, 비가 많이 오립니다, 여러분들. Yeah, it's coming down a lot, everyone. And then, 맞지 뭐. Well, if we're getting wet, so are we. I love that line. 뭐 맞지 뭐. And then they say, 여러분들 만나러 가겠습니다. Now we're coming to you. Let's go a little crazy in the rain. 여러분들이 비를 맞으면 우리도 맞아야지. You know, if you're getting wet, so are we. So let's enjoy the moment. And then I just love the opening line of Telepathy. 매번 같은 하루들 중에. And of course, the laughter when Suga slips at around like 30-second mark, 35-second mark. And then after he slips, he goes, 야 진짜 미끄럽다, 조심해. Like, it's really slippery here, be careful. And then he raps his lines, right? 별일은 없지, 아픈 곳은 없겠지, which translates to something like, what was it? Yeah, hope everything's okay with you. Hope you're not hurting anywhere. But then, was it J-Hope or Jungkook? Or was it Jin? Without missing a beat, he goes, 아파. Like, you're actually hurting, you know? Because Suga just slipped. And he must be in pain. So that was one of my favorite moments from the album. And at the end, J-Hope and the members were hyping up the crowd, trying to have the audience clap. Like 박수 두 번, clap, 짝짝. That was also nice. And then the members expressing joy after getting wet with the rain. Like, that feels nice. And 바람이 너무 분다. The breeze is amazing. And the transition into outro, Wings, that was also amazing. From Seoul Day 2, and this was basically stadium music. You can feel the energy, bounce off the walls. I loved Yoongi's verse, electric verse, and J-Hope keeps hyping the crowd like a seasoned frontman. And it's classic BTS in full performance mode, right? In the beginning, they go, 비 따위 무섭지 않습니다. 가봅시다. 한번 날아봅시다. 계속해서. We're not afraid of a little rain. Let's go. Let's fly and keep it going. And J-Hope and Jungkook harmonizing was pure joy for me. I think it happens at the end of the track. Yeah, I think you can check it out on social media if you type like BTS Permission to Dance, J-Hope and Jungkook harmonizing. Yeah, it was pure joy. Stay from Seoul Day 1. In the intro, RM says, 찬란한 오늘의 우리가 되어줘서 정말 진심으로 감사합니다. Thank you truly for becoming the shining us of today. Within BTS 2-3. And then they go like, let's party hard until the end. And then 좋은 곡 나와요, 좋은 곡. A really good song is coming up. It's a good one. While the beat is about to be played. And when the beat drops, finally, they go like, 좋다. 벌써부터 좋다. So good already. I love when the members are excited themselves about their own music. And I think it was V who says 머무르다. 머무르다 literally translates to stay, referring to the title of this track. And also, at the end of this performance, Jungkook goes 박수 질러, which is a combination of clap and make some noise, because this was from Seoul, so the audience wasn't allowed to scream, well, technically, theoretically. So I'm not sure if he did it on purpose or by mistake, but I just love that combination of the phrases. So what? I don't think I have here, but So What, I also loved it. That one was from Seoul Day One. The line "We are young and wild and free," it hits with a new kind of weight live, with the harmony, and the live version sounds like a proper finale song, even though it's in the middle, right? Disease, Pyong from LA Day 3. This is another ad-lib gold mine for me. The overlapping vocals give it that full band and everything at once energy that live versions thrive on. So I love that. Spring Day, one of my all-time favorites of BTS songs. From Los Angeles Day 2, this version was devastatingly beautiful. RM's spoken intro about, he said, "You can hear the spring, truly. Here we got spring in December, Lego," and that sets the tone. And we finally get to hear HYBE opening this song in a recorded version. So I truly appreciated that. And V and Jimin harmonizing toward the end, that was great. And it becomes one of the most emotional cuts on the album. And yeah, when JHope performed this song with the members, with Jin, during his finale concert in Goyang, it was amazing. And when Jin performed the songs at his own concert during his tour, it was also amazing. I just simply love 봄날, Spring Day. What else? Last but not least, Permission to Dance, the final song. And in the recording version, this happened on day 4 of Las Vegas concert. They go, "Thank you, okay. 마지막 곡입니다. 가자. I think this is our last song. Let's go." And they go like, "We don't need permission to dance." So this album closes with pure joy. ARMY's singing along, the members' sweet ad-libs, especially Jimin, and a general warmth in their voices wrap it up on a high. You hear the happiness and you feel it radiate. And I especially love the extended outro in the end. So yeah, I feel like, so that's it in terms of the review. I feel like the reason why it hits so deep, especially right now, this live album, at least personally for me, maybe it's because OT7 hasn't been together on stage in so long, and maybe it's because 2022 feels like a long time ago, distant memory. But this album doesn't just sound good, it feels essential. It reminds you of who BTS are when they are together, not just as performers, but as people with instinctive chemistry. And with love and chemistry, and with that unspoken, unbreakable rhythm between them. And there's something oddly comforting about the little interjections, like the ad-libs whisper "yeah" or "let go" or "let's go," and when they call each other by name in the middle to hype each other up. And when they laugh, it was so natural. You feel like you're watching them support each other in real time, because you actually are. And at the same time, the success of this album isn't just emotional. I think it could be also strategic, because it opens a door that should have been cracked open long ago. That is the live albums for their previous concerts. I mean, they should, I don't know, because I love this album so much, I feel like they could have had recorded and released live albums for their previous concerts as well. Because if this one, Permission to Dance on Stage Live, proves anything, it's that BTS concerts deserve to live on as albums. Not just video experiences, but also sonic journeys. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like fans are more than ready to stream them. Of course, I understand that there are some technical challenges and also logistics challenges that come with live albums. But yeah, overall, it was a great experience, and I am ready to stream it further tonight when I go for a run. Okay? So what did you think of the album? Were there any moments that surprised you? something that you hadn't noticed before, or a song that hits differently live, or maybe an ad lib that made you laugh out loud. And if you could choose the next BTS concert from the past to be released as a live album, which one would it be? I'm curious about that. So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. And when you write comments, as always, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Bye bye.